our genetic disorder research project for biology on achondroplasia.
Dr. Sweta Marcity, and I'm your doctor.
I'm Victoria Gonzalez, but I prefer to be called Tori.
Okay. By the results of the tests we took, I'm sorry to say this, but your baby has achondroplasia.
Is he gonna die?
No, he won't die. He'll still live. At
Good.
the seams of it, it looks like this has been passed down through your family. Since this is an autosomal trait, your family members would have it. I believe these generations have been good to your family so far, and let's hope this goes on forever. Achondroplasia is a genetic disorder that's a common cause of dwarfism. The average height for adults is around 4 feet tall. People with achondroplasia have one normal gene and one mutant gene. But for some people, they usually have 2 copies of a mutant gene that results in their babies dying shortly after birth. As your child goes through this, like most other children, he'll probably experience a neurological impairment. He'll literally grow faster than his bones can. This can cause other structures like the spinal cord and the brain stem and a vital fluid in your body, CSF, to be compressed. And I'm pretty sure lots of people don't know what CSF is. CSF is a fluid that's really vital, and it provides protection for your brain and skull. And say this is not flowing freely throughout your skull, this can lead to what your child has, and it's called hydrocephalus. In babies, you can usually tell what hydrocephalus is if they have the enlarging head like this, right here. See, as enlarged head. So that's what your baby will have right there.
When will that happen?
Over time, it will be really soon though. And most other symptoms that were found were headaches, feeling really sluggish, vomiting, and short-temperedness. And the way we see if the baby's healthy or not, we have a special growth chart, and it has a special head circumference ratio that we use to see if they're healthy or not. As of this phase, achondroplasia can be detected before birth, but since in our hospital, the prenatal ultrasound was new to our system, so we chose not to do it. Though we have the technology to confirm the diagnosis, so far there has been no treatment. However, we do have a surgery that can lengthen your limbs and arms. And over time, if you see muscle weakness, changes in the bladder function, and see periods during time that your child isn't breathing when he's sleeping, I want you to contact this person right away. He's the famous Dr. Ben Carson, and I'll tell you this, he is the best miracle worker I've ever seen.
What's his phone number?
I'm sorry, but we are not allowed to give that information.
Where can I find it?
You can find his phone number on the internet somewhere. I'm pretty sure you'll find it.
Is there a specific website?
Not that I know of. After this, Dr. Maria, the genetic counselor, will talk to you about the inheritance of this disorder. Then Shelby will talk to you about the in-depth molecular basis of this disorder. I feel sorry for you, ma'am, and I hope things will happen to you that are good.
I hope so too.
Hello, I am Dr. Maria Kondorf, your genetic counselor, and I'm here to discuss the future of your child. Since achondroplasia is dominant, it is not possible to be a carrier. You either have it or you don't. You can be a carrier for not having achondroplasia, though.
Well, I don't have achondroplasia, but my husband does, and so does my son. And I'm curious as to whether a possible next child would have it or not.
I have drawn out a Punnett square for you. A Punnett square will show you all your options of the possible genes your child would have. The first Punnett square shows your father-in-law being homozygous dominant for
So he's had it.
Correct. And this is your mother-in-law. She was homozygous recessive for not having achondroplasia. And anyone that's recessive is homozygous. Now, your husband received the big R from his dad and the little r from his mom, make him heterozygous for achondroplasia. Now this is him over here, and this is you right here. Now your child had the 50% chance that you have to receive the heterozygous trait for having achondroplasia. So this is him right here. This versus 2 options. Now your next child could be this. You could be heterozygous for having achondroplasia. But there's also a 50% chance that your next child will be homozygous recessive for the trait of achondroplasia.
So it is possible that my next child would not have achondroplasia.
Correct. Now I have to show you a chart. Now this is your father-in-law again. He is shaded in completely because he could not give anyone the recessive trait for achondroplasia. Your mother-in-law, she was completely recessive, so she couldn't give anyone the dominant trait. So your husband received half from his dad and half from his mom, making him heterozygous dominant for achondroplasia. Now this is you. You are recessive for having achondroplasia, which means you do not have achondroplasia. Now your son chose to take the non-shaded from you, which he had to take, and then he took the shaded part, which is the dominant, and he became heterozygous dominant for the trait. Now your next child could take the unshaded recessive from your husband, and he has to take, or she has to take the unshaded from you, and that would make him not have achondroplasia.
Thank you.
That is all.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelby Christensen, and I'm your molecular scientist.
Hello, my name is Tori.
I'm here to talk to you about achondroplasia and how it gets started molecularly.
All right.
Achondroplasia is a mutation of the FGFR3 gene, which is on chromosome number 4 at section 16.3. There are 22 different autosomal chromosomes.
I thought there were 23 chromosomes in the body.
There are 23 chromosomes, but one of them determines your gender, so it's not considered an autosomal chromosome, it's considered a gender chromosome. The FGFR3 gene produces the amino acid glycine, an amino acid that creates a protein that will be read by a protein receptor. When read by the protein receptor, the protein from glycine tells the protein receptor to turn cartilage into bone. When it turns cartilage to bone, that's what creates growth, and that's how a child grows. And the mutation your child has causes arginine, another amino acid, to be made instead of glycine. The amino acid arginine still codes for a protein, but that protein is read differently by the protein receptors. When the protein receptors read arginine instead of glycine, they become overly active, and when they're overly active, they cause disturbances in the bone growth. These disturbances slow down and eventually stop bone growth, so your child's body will grow faster than their bones.
Is there any way to stop the mutation?
No, there currently is no way to treat it, but it's still being researched, and scientists hope to find a cure for it someday.
Okay.
Divya Budri and American Girl doll as the patient's mom and
Son with achondroplasia.
Shelby Christensen, the molecular scientist.
Maria Korndorf is the genetic counselor. Marisetti as the doctor.
Achondroplasia is a really serious issue right now, and so far there has been no cure for it.
During our research, we found the website achondroplasiafoundation.org. There is money to help find a cure for achondroplasia.
Every dollar helps, so donate now.